15 months after the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul, the fallout continues. Jeff Bezos, the boss of the world's largest online shop Amazon, also owns the Washington Post, the newspaper Khashoggi wrote for. He's now at the centre of a hacking probe. UN human rights experts, including Agnes Callamard, who investigated Khashoggi's murder, say they've looked at forensic analysis that points to data being stolen from Bezos's phone in 2018. That happened after Bezos received WhatsApp messages from the personal account of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Possibly, the experts say, to try and influence articles in the Washington Post.
The initial expert who conducted the forensic investigation concluded with medium to high certainty that the source of the hacking was a video file sent to Mr. Bezos through WhatsApp from an account owned by the Crown Prince.
On the sidelines of the World Economic Forum, the Saudi energy minister responded to the allegations.
I think this is a mockery and a joke.
Why is it a mockery, sir? People are concerned.
Because you are stupid.
I'm stupid, sir?
Yes.
At the same time, the Wall Street Journal reported that Saudi officials close to the Crown Prince said they were aware of a plan to hack Bezos's phone as part of a broader intimidation campaign against Khashoggi, but not aware of any attempt to blackmail him.
Well, I think absurd is exactly the right word. The idea that the Crown Prince would hack Jeff Bezos' phone is absolutely silly.
As Bezos supported Khashoggi's fiancée following his murder in 2018, relations with bin Salman soured. Bezos' security team alleged last March that the kingdom gained private information from his phone involving text messages between him and a former TV news presenter. This latest analysis implicates the Crown Prince for the first time.
I think that it's hard to believe that if they had this successful capability and were brazenly willing to use it against one of the most powerful people in the world, that they would stop there.
The Saudis have been accused of other hacking attacks, but Bezos is by far the most high-profile person involved, and these latest allegations are expected to only worsen relations between the world's richest man and the kingdom, a strategic ally of the US. Nicola, Gage, Al Jazeera.
Earlier, Jeff Bezos tweeted a photo of himself with Jamal Khashoggi's fiancée, unveiling a plaque last October, marking the one-year anniversary of his murder. It had the hashtag Jamal. CARLE is a former deputy national intelligence officer for transitional threats at the CIA. He says the Amazon phone hack does not surprise him.
An intelligence officer, it sounds like business as usual. I'm not surprised at all that that happened. I am a bit surprised that MBS himself would allow, or the intelligence service would use the head of state's own phone so easily traceable, but that they did so doesn't surprise me. It's pretty clear. It's not that Bezos is rich that makes him of interest. What makes him of interest is that he owns the Washington Post, one of the three most influential media newspapers in the United States, and therefore with global implications, which in seeking truth, and I want to emphasize that the Washington Post seeks facts. It does not engage in a campaign hostile to MBS or Saudi Arabia. It publishes facts, and the facts have been damning and harmful to Saudi image and operations. And because of that, it is then of some, of interest to Saudi Arabia to have information that could discredit or the Washington Post or its owner or the information by creating a counter story, which is not the truth, which is a diversion, but that's the motivation, certainly. This has not been the most sophisticated operation, I gather. I'm not a cyber expert, but I know operations, and you do want to try to have an operation conducted so that it cannot be associated directly with your chief of state. That seems to be a rather obvious thing to try to avoid. And then I gather that the hacking tool used was not the most sophisticated, or at least easily hidden. So that seems to be ham-fisted, but I have to say not surprising again, because this seems not to have been the most subtle service or operation.